What's up, gamers? This is That PlayStation Gamer coming to you guys with a brand new video. Yes, we're doing things a little differently here because I want to do a response video to this video of Harman Smith, but unfortunately, it would take time to edit and all that stuff. You know, I don't want to sit there at the PlayStation all goddamn day doing that. So, for the record, you'll go see me every once in a while take a swig of water here because talking a lot definitely makes my my mouth get dry. So we'll respond to Harman Smith's video here. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I might not respond to the whole thing just because around this point is where he starts kind of just going on ranting and rambling. So we'll just mostly talk about the points that he brings up. So first off, we got to do the mandatory. Cut through the chilling out his book state. I swear to God, this man's added more books every freaking 2 months. It's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, let's actually let's get into it. Whoa. Okay, we are having some audio problems here. It's just like now, just like. Okay, now it's not doing it. Okay, so hopefully that fixes itself. Let's get into it.
Came out and said that I am boycotting all further woke video game companies from Japan. Following the whole Guilty Gear situation with Arc System Works, I have decided it is time to really start profiling these companies and really go.
Anyone else knows he does the Trump hands thing? They're such great people. They're the greatest people of them all. They're so great. I could not believe that they lost the Afghan war like that. I don't know, just making some random ass joke, but he does that. He talks with his hands a lot. I noticed that. You know, guilty by association here. I do that shit too. So yeah, just saying. just an observation. I know. He also touches his mouth a lot. His mouth and his hair. It's so weird to watch his videos because he just like he touches his freaking nose, he touches his mouth, he touches his hair. I'm like, yo, this guy, he probably fucking patient zero COVID. Just saying.
Going after them if they really toe the line when it comes to like the SJW agenda.
I gotta address this real quick. I don't know where he announced this. Probably some random forums because I think someone told me he got banned off Twitter. Not 100% sure about that. And by the way, I'm pretty sure my hair looks like a mess here. But yeah, no shock Harman Smith is boycotting woke Japanese products because he is very hardcore Republican. But you'll see why, like soon, how we all know he's a hardcore Republican to the point that it almost seems like it goes against anything that I don't know the best way to describe it. He's just a melting pot of everything you hate about Republicans melded into one.
So I will no longer be buying any further Arc System Works games. I will no longer be buying any Guilty Gear games in particular, and I
Good.
will no longer be buying any River City games going forward.
The fuck are those? I mean, I know who Arc is. They're the developers that made Dragon Ball Z Fighters, but I doubt you buy these games to begin with, Harman. So, what? Oh my god, no, they lost a sale. Oh my god. Let's freak out. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure the shareholders are like losing their shit. Oh my god, guys, we lost Harman Smith's sale. We need to shift everything. We need to make everything pandering to him. Oh my god, please. Harman, don't think of the children.
I was going to put River City Girls Zero on my top 10 games of the year list, but that's not going to happen because fuck Arc System Works. So, what other Japanese games?
Gotta love that. Oh, I was gonna put this game in my top 10 list, but I'm not going to now despite the company. Like, oh my god. Yeah, again, Harman, you hitting us with the daggers here. Harman, no. Your top 10 list is so coveted. Every game company and their mother comes to you and asking you, oh, mighty Harman Smith, please put us in your top 10 games of the year. You are more valid than Jeff Keighley. You are more valid than TPG. You are more valid than every other freaking person who makes a top 10 list. Sarcasm, obviously.
Are compromised. What other games should we be actively boycotting at this point? Really, I think Ark.
Well, the hint here might be Yakuza, which is kind of weird because Yakuza is far from bad.
Is like the first of a trend. Well, from what I've been seeing, it's mostly like low level, easily influenced companies.
The he's literally coming up with his thoughts in his brain. He just spills them out. At least he doesn't have the fucking gall to, actually make a reaction video like this. Or what he does. So I think there might not be much of a difference between me and Harman besides our, love of pieces of plastic. He likes the red, I like the blue.
That just want to see release in America. It's companies like Marvelous, I think, released.
Who the fuck is Marvelous?
The Rune Factory 5 guy.
He just. Can you guys imagine in the middle of the Cisco? Oh, he's actually remembering to breathe. Guys, he leveled up his like endurance levels. He didn't remember to breathe when he makes his videos. Gotta say, the man's making at least an effort.
As like we're compromised, so I boycotted them. It seems like in general, it just seems to be like mostly low budget, like more fringe franchises at the moment. In most other major franchises, like the most we see.
Yeah, again, his brain's trying to process what he's trying to say, but it's so stupid. The brain can't literally handle it. It's like a computer overheated. Just like can't comprehend stupidity coming out of mind.
To be getting is like weird gender options. Like we get like
it's pronounced gender there, sweetheart. And oh dear God, are we really doing this? We really doing this, Harman? So body options, if they're not, like overly sexualized women with big old bitties. Oh, none of that's like, oh. If it ain't that, then it's woke. Okay, well, I gotta feel that's the train of thought you're going down.
Body type A and B, like and then stuff like that. You get like non-binary options. If a game has a non-binary option, I will boycott it. By the way,
you hear that fucking slip up? If it's a non-binary option, I'll buy. I won't. I find that a little funny, but why would it matter? Unless the character is boinking other characters, like a non-binary option is literally just in case you want it. But if it's a story-driven series like the Yakuza series, you really don't get to pick that option. Because, they make these characters to have certain genders. They don't make the custom character. At least to my knowledge, I haven't played Yakuza Like a Dragon yet.
Way, like it doesn't seem to be all that prevalent yet, but it is coming. I think it is safe to say. But like at the moment, like
it's like winter. It's eventually going to come. I had to make a Game of Thrones reference. I've been watching Game of Thrones again.
I think there are only really two companies that I would say are absolutely 100% compromised, and one isn't even.
What are they compromised of? What? Being woke? Dude, there's a comment in his comment section in this video that says it best. The word woke has lost all meaning. Because the way people talk about now, they're not really using it in the way they're supposed to use it. They're talking about it in a way that most people talk about how to use it now, and that's to describe anything progressive. Oh, there's a gay couple in the game. That's woke. Oh my god, the game has a female lead. That's woke. Oh, the woman has a rage-filled moment where she calls out a man for his privilege. That's woke. Okay, maybe that last one's a little closer to bordering, but it's like everything is woke according to most of these people. Why do I got a sneaky suspicion this man is subscribed to RK Outpost, to Quarter In, and all of them? Like, why do I got feelings doing it? By the way, Harman, you don't get to act like a Chad when you're wearing glasses like this, and you got Simp Poster 1 and Simp Poster 2, and, well, I'm not going to say this is Simp Poster 3. Kind of simping for a certain company here. Just saying. Integrity might not be a word you should be using. If you ever use it. I don't know. I haven't watched this whole video yet.
Really a Japanese company, in spite of popular belief. The first is Arc System Works, which I've already gone into, and the second is Sega, which is not a Japanese company. Yes, this really needs to be understood more by the gaming community. Sega is not and never has been a Japanese company. Just because it was founded by a couple of American businessmen doesn't it in Japan that doesn't make it a Japanese company.
Yes, it does. A company could be founded by any ethnicity, but if they, what's the way to describe this? If their primary business is in a country, they are associated with that country. For example, there are companies like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They're called American companies because those brands come from America. Sega and Nintendo and PlayStation come from Japan. Yes, do they have American possible founders? Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not Japanese because they have Japanese games in their DNA. Well, not so much Sony these days, but Sony still does have ties in Japan. But, guys, I did watch a bit of this. I recall what I said before. I did watch a bit of this. This gets so much worse. And I mean it, like, ugh. Get ready for the cringe factor.
Just because it hired a bunch of Japanese people to network and do stuff there without being suspicious, without raising suspicion as to what they were doing. No, that doesn't make it a Japanese company. Sega has always been an extremely woke brand, an extremely westernized.
Except their most popular character, Sonic, was made by a Japanese man. Yeah. Bet you guys didn't know that. I bet you also didn't know his original name was a Sonic. $5 if you know what his original name was.
American brand, and that's why Sega of America had so much power. That's why you had all these weird conflicts between different divisions, and it's a big reason why Sega, most of their IPs are so incredibly westernized.
Yes, because when I think American, I think Yakuza. When I think American, I think Shenmue. When I think America, I think Crazy Taxi. When I think of America, I think of Sonic the Hedgehog. Come on, dude. Is he literally trying to change history? I feel like that's what he's doing here. He's trying to change history into well, see, they're Western, so they're already woke. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Oh my god. If this is this road you're going down, bruh, me and you can't be in the same room. I will fucking scream your head off. And yes, in that way.
Because they've always had that Western influence. Nobody wants to talk about it because this goes back to the country's origins in the 50s and 60s. But
what the fuck was that? I'm sorry. I gotta hear that again.
Because they've always had that Western influence. Nobody wants to talk about it because this goes back to the country's origins in the 50s and 60s. But
did he just say Japan was made in the 50s and the 60s? What? Oh my god, Harman. I know you're a retard. I know you're autistic. But get your history straight. Japan was not made in the 50s. Japan wasn't even made, really. It was an island that was always there. The settlers, I'm pretty sure, came way before the 50s. And if you're referring to the 50s and 60s, I'm assuming you're referring to the 1950s and 60s, because I don't think when I think other time, like the 1850s and all that, I don't think when people talk about that, they refer to it as the 50s. They think the 1950s, and you're just factually wrong. I feel like the Dr. Cox meme. Ron, 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 Ron.
It's true. Sega is not a Japanese company. So as a result of that, we've kind of seen this weird trend with Sega where, first of all, their games have never been high quality. Like they have.
You know, some franchises you could make the argument for that for. Like, there's games of theirs that have never been, like, you know, the best, let's be honest. But then you get games like Yakuza and Shenmue that were made, like, in, like, the PS2 generation. And, like, the things you could do in Shenmue were groundbreaking for the time. Yakuza is, in my opinion, if you go back and look at those visual graphics back in the day for Yakuza, 1 and 2, they look really good. I think Yakuza has always been a good-looking franchise. That's kind of what makes it appealing. And the stories have been really good. Shenmue, and so, going to the main mascot, Sonic. Yes, Sonic has ups and downs, but I would never say like a Sonic game looked like overwhelmingly terrible. So like, quality varies, just like at any company, just like your beloved Nintendo. No company is going to bat 100 all the time. It's just not possible. You're going to have a turd slip up every once in a while, and it's just going to happen.
Have never ever been good.
You're an idiot.
People love to say otherwise, that like, oh, but they were good at Sonic was good in the Genesis days. No, they weren't. Like,
why weren't they good? Because they didn't have that logo right there, that precious N.
If they developed a good game, they hired a fully Japanese studio to do it for them, like someone like Treasure or some other associates. Typically speaking, nothing Sega produced was of any value. However, in the current year, I think...
Dude, literally, that could not be more fucking wrong. Nothing of value. Like, Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, and the second movie didn't just top the box office. Not like Yakuza just makes the top 10 and every time they release a game. No value on that. No value on that whatsoever. There's no value in the fact that people want a new Dreamcast. There's no value in that. You know how many fucking times I hear every once in a while someone say, I got inside info saying there's going to be a Dreamcast 2. And people flip their shit. They think it's going to be real. They think that, oh my god, that's like obscure license deal Nintendo, Sega made with this, retro console. That's the Dreamcast 2. No value in Sega, man. Then there's no value in Nintendo. Like, period. Nintendo's worthless. Fuck Nintendo Land, fuck Star Fox, fuck Mario, fuck Zelda. They're all worthless because I don't need a reason.
Most people kind of acknowledge that Sega has gone downhill.
Sega's been hit and miss, just like any game company out there. Yes, they've definitely gone downhill, over the years, but they're still around for a reason. They somehow still have that resistance. Oh yeah, and then every fucking franchise that I thought about, it isn't like, it wasn't made by Sega, but it was made by a company that's owned by Sega. Persona, Shin Megami Tensei. Those are good games, but there's no value in them, huh?
Like, nothing they produce is any good. They basically have like two major franchises, two things that people care about, both of which I would say are incredibly woke, which is Persona and Yakuza. Now, I'm not familiar with how Persona is woke because I've never actually played.
Dude, the motherfucker hasn't even played a Persona game, or at least it sounds like he hasn't played it all the way through. There is like zero wokeness in fucking Persona 5. If anything, there's been kind of like problematic stuff for some of the Western people out there. Not mentioning any names, but Persona 5 first boss, that was a bit of a controversial thing for a while. The fact that these games are turn-based RPGs with Pokemon, kind of mechanics, I can only speak for Persona 5, but I know for a fact Persona 5 was very well received amongst pretty much everyone who played it. And even I, a guy who will admit right now, I am not the biggest fan of JRPGs. That'd probably like be the one franchise. Like, you know what? I got 5 hours. I got 50. I got 500 hours to kill. Why not?
All the way through the games, but I am aware that Persona 5 Royal was censored and that
It was censored because there was translation problems. Like, we're talking like very minor changes. And I don't even think there were really that many changes. Oh yeah, every fucking franchise I stop out with Fatless. Catherine! Catherine, in my opinion, is a great fucking game. A great puzzle game. I need to actually start playing through that again, because, man, that was actually a pretty good story, too. Helps as Troy Baker.
it should be boycotted. But like, I think the more prevalent issue going forward is the Yakuza games, because they are a series that I've gone through thoroughly. Like when I was subscribed to Xbox Game Pass, that was actually all I was doing, was playing through like all of these old Yakuza games. You know, I went through Zero, Kiwame 2.
He literally had to think of the rest of the games he played through. Well, I'm going to tell you guys right now, Fars, I remember when he was live streaming on his Xbox. Yes, I'm a bit of a stalker. I'm as a abusive uncle, according to some. But most of the time he played Yakuza, it just looked like he was not interested at all. And I'm pretty sure he says that in this video. But it's like, when you come out of a game with a negative attitude that you're not going to like it, you're not going to like it. Nothing's going to change it.
You know, the beginnings of 6, the beginnings of 7, and going through all of these games. You know, I 100%ed 5 on PS3. Like I've played a lot of these games, and one of the things I really did eventually pick up on, you know, in spite of like my general enjoyment of them at first, was that they do try to present woke ideas in a digestible way.
How? Present your case. Whether it's a trial, present your case. You can't make evidence up. You can't make shit up without evidence. Present your case here. Oh, wait. Doesn't Sega own Ace Attorney as well? I don't know why. I just thought of Ace Attorney. And it's like, doesn't Sega own that? Someone tell me in the comments if they do.
And by that, yeah, I mean, they try introducing woke concepts to you in a way that doesn't come off as like pandering or manipulative. Like typically, Yakuza's woke aspects will be relegated to side stories or to things that don't affect the overall plot, or are like relegated to a single cutscene, or aren't all that prevalent in the grand scheme of things. But make no mistake, Yakuza is extremely woke. Again, there was a scene in Yakuza Kiwame 2 where like I think it was Kiwame 2. I've played so many of these games that kind of blur together. Where like a tranny kind of like opens up about how he was born a man to Kuryu, and he tries like telling him that like, oh man, it's totally cool that you're doing this.
Yeah, that's called being progressive. You know, Kiryu's kind of one of those characters, he doesn't really care about political allegiance. He really doesn't even care about Yakuza allegiance, to be honest, in most of those games. But, yeah, he wouldn't care if someone was trans. But I got a feeling we're about to hear something that's kind of gives you an idea why he thinks this stuff is problematic, why he thinks it's woke.
No, it's not cool. It's not acceptable. Trannies don't exist. But like,
just like lesbians, right? If you are not a straight man, why the hell did it zoom in? If you are not a straight man, you don't exist, according to Harman Smith. Wow. This man, I think he's the definition of a bigot sandwich. Stuck between two buns that he cannot understand. I don't know. Just, oh my god. He shows his biggest side here. Trannies don't exist. Well, I gotta call my trans friend up, like, yo, bro, do you know you don't exist? Yeah, according to this one guy on the internet, you don't exist. So I guess I'm talking to the ghost.
they're not worthy of respect or attention. But this is what woke culture is. Trying
Treating people like human beings. That's woke culture. Well, man, I am woke. I am woke as they can get. Man, I'm so woke that like I do it all the time. I will apologize. Sorry. I almost used the language he used. I won't apologize. Trans people are just like everyone else. They are. That's all they are. They are human beings. Are there trans people out there that are problematic? Hell yes. Are there trans people out there who are not problematic? Hell yes. Just like with straight people, just like with gay people, just like with lesbians, just like with bisexuals, everything comes in degrees. My grandmother always taught me never judge a person for the color of their skin or their sexual orientation, but by the character of their person. And my mom reinforced that. My dad reinforced that. And you know what? I like to think I'm a sensible person. If a person I see is transgender and they screwed me over somehow, they stole my money out of the bank, I don't think, man, those trans people, they're all horrible. I think, no, that person's horrible. See, what I get a feeling with Harman here is he was wronged by someone, and what happened is he takes out his aggression towards that person, towards the community that they're a part of. Or maybe he's just a bigot. Maybe his dad's a fucking neo-Nazi. Maybe his fucking mother is a German fucking Russian spy trying to blow up America. I don't know.
to present these degenerate, disgusting career chats or personal decisions as like something noble or something desirable. Like Yakuza 7 has this thing where it like glamorizes prostitutes. It's
I've never played Yakuza 7, so I can't refer to that. The most I've gone was 6. But, yeah, but you didn't have a problem with cabaret girls, did you? I actually remember specifically with his Yakuza, what was it, Kwame 2, I think it was that one? Where he was doing the cabaret stuff, and he was having fun with that. A cabaret girl is essentially a hooker without the sex, and without the nudity, just talking. But you got no problem with that, do you, Cody? Cody, do you have a problem with prostitutes? Yeah, I find this weird. Why do you have a problem with people who want to make choices that only affect them? I always found that weird with people like Harman Smith here. Why do you care about what someone else is doing with their own personal life? What's between them and a doctor is none of your damn business.
that is that is a woke culture summed up. It's like making bad things look good and good things look bad.
Well, by that definition, you're woke because you're making bad people look worse. I don't know if I could keep going with this, guys. Oh, I know this is probably not the best quality video either, but man, what do I say? What can I say about this? Harman here is just proven yet again he is not tolerant of anyone who thinks even slightly different. That should tell you everything you need to know about the guy. He'll never change his mind about PlayStation. He'll never change his mind about trans people, lesbians, gays, because he's a tolerant bigot. He can't accept the fact that, well, some people don't live the same life you do. Some people out there, they choose to lay with a chick when they're a chick. Some people want to be a man when they're a woman. I personally am in the camp of, if it doesn't hurt anyone, it doesn't hurt the kids, whatever floats your boat. I literally, I'm not trying to come off as like I don't care about human beings, because I do. But if it doesn't affect me directly, honest to God, I don't really care. I know that sounds mean-spirited, but I think that's how we are as humans. If it doesn't affect us right away, or anyone we are close to, we normally just don't care. So why do you care, Harman? Why do you care what a trans person or a, I don't know, gay, lesbian couple do? Because you're trying to control someone else's life. You're trying to pull the moral police shit when honestly, you ain't living a moral high ground either, buddy. I mean, hell, if you're going to throw the Bible at people, you better not be wearing 2 types of fabric. You better not, because remember, you go to hell for that.
In comparison, like that's kind of woke culture kind of summed up, is just like trying to tear apart like the family unit while like propping up homosexuality and just general.
Yes, because homosexuals that adopt kids are trying to ruin the family unit. People who don't want to have kids are trying to ruin the family unit.
Degeneracy. That is my feeling towards the Yakuza franchise, is that like it tries presenting itself as this cool hyper masculine thing, but in reality it's trying to train you to view the world as.
So, mind you, this is most of the stuff the woke stuff he's talking about. He even said it. This is like side quest stuff. This is stuff that you don't even have to run into. But it's trying to train you into being hyper, woke. But it's not a part of the main story or even the main character. I said before, Kiru does not care about people's, I guess you would say, gender dysphoria or any of that kind of stuff. He just looks at that as like, hey, that little girl over there is crying. I want to help that little girl because I don't want to see this little girl crying. Oh, I see this kitten is lost. I want to help this kitten find its owner. And I cannot think of for the life of me, I cannot think of a more manlier fucking franchise. Yakuza Kiwami 2 ends with 2 shirtless men beating the crap out of each other while trying to, protect the people they care about. While trying to uncover this big mystery. Kiru goes through hell and back for Haruka just so she could have a better life. She becomes an idol, and Kiru distances himself from this little girl. This little girl he is attached to, just kind of like, Joe and Ellie. And he decides to distance himself so that he can't be used to actually, ruin her potential career. But this is woke. Man, if that is woke, then I'm all for wokeness. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here because honestly, I don't know what to say. I keep saying it, but like I kind of just checked out. Harman, you're a piece of shit of a human being. And honestly, I don't really want to waste my breath on you. But I need to make content. You're easy content to make about. Plus I wanted to try out this new video format. What do you guys think of this new video format? What do you think of Yakuza being called woke? Personally, I think it's the dumbest thing you could call a fucking franchise like Yakuza because it's completely the opposite. Until then, peace out. Have a good day. Don't forget to like and comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube algorithm BS.